Hello, dear students. Welcome to Accounting 3. I'm Miss Tania Poveda. Remember that it's very, very important that you save this information on your computer so you can check it whenever you want. Anyway, you can watch this video as many times as you need, pause, rewind, whatever you need. Okay? Are you ready? Well, today we start with a new chapter. This is Organizations 2. We already finished with Organizations 1. Let's see what this is about. So we're going to start with self-employed people and partnerships. Any idea what self-employed means? Well, here we have an example. It says, I'm a freelance graphic designer, a freelancer. That means I work for myself. I'm self-employed. To use the official term, I'm a sole trader. So it's very important you remember these bold words here. No, I better under. Okay, it's very important you remember these words. Freelancer. So I'm self-employed. The official term, sole trader. Okay, remember this. Or freelance too. But this one goes with a noun, freelance graphic designer in this case. In this case. Or a freelancer. Sole owner and sole proprietor are also used both in British English and American English, sole trader. Okay, so it's the same. But for British, sole owner, and for American, sole trader. Okay? We can continue. Okay, I like this picture because you can probably identify some professions as freelancers. So there is a note here for you. You usually describe people such as designers and journalists as freelancers, and people such as builders and plumbers are as self-employed. So basically, when you work with your hands, when you use your hands to work, like a plumber or builders, maybe a tailor, you are a self-employed. But if you do works for someone else, kind of desk works, you are a freelancer. That's the difference, okay? So if it's an office job that you do by yourself to other company, freelancer. If you do something with your hands, it's a self-employed. That's the only difference, but basically it's the same. It means you don't have a boss and you are not the boss of anybody. So you are by yourself. That's it. Pretty easy, right? So that's self-employed. Now, partnership. As you can see in this short video, there are two people, like agreeing something to do together. So what is a partnership? We have set up our own architecture partnership. So obviously we're talking about two people, maybe more. In this case, there are no shareholders in the organization apart from us, the partners. A lot of professional people like lawyers, accountants, and so on work in partnerships. So basically it's when you have a friend and you both want to open a business, you do it together. That's it. So that's the biggest difference with self-employed. Because here you are by yourself, but in this case, you have a partner. Now, one question for you. A partnership, it's only for two people or two or more people? What do you think? Yeah, it's for 2 or more people. Usually it's 2 people because sometimes you do it with your best friend or with your wife or your husband. So usually it's 2, but it can be more than 2. The most common examples are lawyers and accountants. And also here in Ecuador, maybe when you open businesses like restaurants or bakeries, all kind of businesses, and you want to do it with a friend, well, that's what you call partnership. That's the legal term. Now, right now, we're going to listen these people talking about their experiences as this section B, limited liability. Any idea what limited liability is? Okay, after you listen these 3 people talking, you are going to understand better. So pay attention.
I am the managing director and main shareholder of a small electronics company in Scotland called Advanced Components Limited. Limited means limited company. The other shareholders and I have limited liability. We do not have to use our personal property, such as a house or car, to pay the company's debts.
Okay, so that was our guest number 1. The most important words here, and I'm going to use this again, is LTD, which means limited company. And you know this in Spanish, it's very similar. What it is important here is that they don't have to use personal property. Do not have to use personal property to pay company debts. Okay, so that's the most important part here. Here he says, I'm the managing director and main shareholder. You probably remember this from last year. Shareholder means that you have a part of the company. It can be 50% or it can be more or less than that according to the agreement with the other shareholders. Okay? Let's continue.
I'm CEO of Big Bucks Inc. Inc. stands for Incorporated. This shows that we are a corporation, a term used especially in the US for companies with limited liability.
Okay, do you remember the movie Monsters, Inc.? You never wondered the meaning of Inc., the meaning of INC in this case? It means incorporated. It means you belong to a corporation. That's the difference with LTD. They are a corporation. It's a term used, especially in the USA, with limited liability, which is what we're talking about right now. But I'm going to explain this later a little bit deeper. Now I just want you to listen to this guest. And finally, guest number 3. Let's listen.
I'm the chief executive of a British company called Megaco PLC. PLC means Public Limited Company, so anybody can buy and sell shares in Megaco on the stock market.
That's it. So now we have other term, PLC. PLC means Public Limited Company. Okay? So it means that anybody can buy and sell shares. Anybody can buy and sell shares on the stock market. Please check the stock market on the dictionary or on internet in case you need to know or to remember what that is. And shares has something to do with shareholders. So if you don't know these words if it's not very clear for you, the meaning of share or stock market, please go right now to Google and find out the definition or look for examples, okay? So right now we have these three words or letters. LTD, limited company, Inc., incorporated, like in the movie Monsters, Inc., PLC, public limited company. Okay, so limited liability company, or LLC, is a popular form of business which is a hybrid of a partnership from business and company form of business. Okay, it's a hybrid. It's like a mix between partnership and company. That's it. And to finish, we're going to read this LLC at a glance. Let's read. What is the unique advantage? Let me use this one here. Okay. What is the unique advantage of LLC? Remember, LLC means limited liability company. Well, income generated by LLC does not attach to the entirety itself, but flows directly through to its members, avoiding the possibility of double taxation at both the entity level and member level. So it means that you have to pay taxes once, not double. Okay, investor or members, at least one. So you can do it by yourself, or you can do it with a friend, or find other shareholders. What about management? Who's in charge? Members. Management duties can be assigned to a person, entity, or professional manager. So you can choose who the manager is, or it can be yourself, of course. Ownership. So who's the owner of this LLC? No shares issued, very important. Interest of owning members is determined according to terms of the LLC agreement. So you have to agree about this. You sign a paper, you agree with the other shareholders, and then you decide. How much money or capital do you need to start? None. You can start with nothing. Remember that capital is not only cash, it's not only money, it can be also building, it can be knowledge, different things. Remember, it's not only money, cash or bank accounts. It can be a house, a car, a truck, a piece of land, your knowledge, your work, etc. Method of formation. Filling certificate of formation, that's it. It's kind of simple, actually. Available documentation, certificate of good standing, certified copies of any filed document. Okay? So, again, LLC, limited liability company. It's a mix between partnership and company. We have these three ways to talk about companies, like LTD, that means limited company, Inc., incorporated, and PLC, public limited company. So now, every time you see these letters on a company, you know the meaning and what they do. We have partnership, a business you can open with a friend. Or if you want to work for yourself, you can consider be a self-employed or a freelancer. That's it for today. It was not too much since we are already finishing this partial at school. I really thank you for your attention, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.